Hey babies, welcome back to another Affinity video. Today we're playing the exact same list that I played last time when I made a deck tech, so I'll put a link to that in the description below. The reason we're playing this is, since I made that video, I've had two pretty good tournament placings with it. I made top 8 at a 5K at SCG Indianapolis, and I just recently got a top 8 in a Modern Showcase challenge. So, very exciting. I haven't made any changes to the deck. I've fiddled around with the sideboard a little bit, but I landed back where I started. And let's get into the gameplay. Alright, round 1 with Affinity. We won the die roll. Let's see, we have Springleaf, Zero Drop, another Springleaf. We don't have quite a clock yet, but we have a Thought Cast, that's pretty good. There's a decent chance we get Thought Seized pretty quick is the only issue with the Gigantha matchup. I think I'm willing to risk it. Let's keep. Opponent's mulliganing to 5. So maybe we won't get Thought Seized. Let's see. Let's leave Memnite in hand so that we don't get it removed and lose our Thoughtcast for next turn. See what our opponent's playing. Opponent plays Wooded Foothills, cracks it. Blood Crypt, yeah, looks like Rakdos, mid-range. Inquisition does not hit Thoughtcast, but it does hit Memnite. Okay, we draw Sojourner's Companion. Let's go Mistvault Bridge, Springleaf Drum, go. This is a matchup where drawing more of our Thoughtcast and Thought Monitor effects is very, very strong. It looks like we're just playing against probably regular Jund. They might be playing the Urza Saga stuff. Let's see. Let's lead on Thoughtcast. Alright, Frogmite, Memnite, Mistvault Bridge, Sojourner's Companion. Go. We have a decent board now. We need a bit more action, I think. Because they probably have some removal to mess with us, and their guy is just bigger than our Sojourner's Companion right now. Drawing a Relic would be really good, because it's good against both of their threats. We draw Cranial Plating. Okay. So they can't kill Sojourner's Companion right now. We could make them either take a bunch of damage or trade away their Tarmogoyf. They have a Fatal Push open, so plating on Memnite isn't very good. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's do some damage. Blocks, okay. Let's move Cranial Plating over so that Tarmogoyf dies. Our opponent can probably play another creature or remove something, so we can't quite kill them, but we have board control right now at least. Opponent plays Monkey with Dash, okay. Let's see what they get. Hopefully they don't get a creature. They get a Cranial Plating that's going to be exiled. That's okay. They can Fatal Push something, but they can't do it right now. We draw Gingerbrute. Let's go... It's very easy for them to kill Memnite, so I'm just going to put it on Memnite and then re-equip later. Play Gingerbrute. I think we have it now. Because they kill Memnite, I move it over to Frogmite or Gingerbrute. And they're at, what, 1? Unholy Heat's on Gingerbrute. Okay. Opponent goes to 2. What you got? And opponent concedes. Sweet. Alright, let's see if we can do that again. Against Jund, we don't sideboard very heavily. We're just going to bring in... I wish I knew if they had Urza's Sagas or not. They know about Gingerbrute, so we're going to cut it this game. We're going to bring in Pithing Needle because it hits Wrenn and 6, which they definitely have. It hits Urza's Saga if they have that, although we probably wouldn't hit Urza's Saga with it. It hits Beseiju, which they definitely have at least one of. And it hits Engineered Explosives if they have that. And we're going to bring in Etched Champion and cut Nettle Cyst, I think. Maybe not, though. Etched Champion's pretty nice because it gets in unblocked through their board, is the main thing. So I think that is what I'm going to do here. In Tormod's Crypt, there's an argument for bringing it in and cutting like one of the welding jars, but generally I like having welding jar better, especially since they have Beseiju and the ability to reuse it. This hand's pretty good. It loses really hard to Alpine Moon if they have that, but I think we just gotta risk it. If we were planning on not losing to hate cards occasionally, we wouldn't be playing Affinity after all. Just gotta get hosed occasionally and take your beats. Opponent plays Verdant and fetches. Did they bobble? They bobbled us, not themselves. Okay, so they probably have a Thoughtseize here. Another bobble. Targeting themselves now. They did that kind of in the wrong order, I think. Yeah, they Thoughtseize us. And probably take Springleaf Drum, I would assume. It's probably the strongest card if you just had to remove one. They take Memnite. Okay. There's a better chance that we draw another 0-drop than another Springleaf Drum, so I'm alright with that. Okay, we play Saga on 1. Play Springleaf Drum. If we draw a 0-drop, we can get a construct out of Saga. If not, it's not the end of the world. We can just fetch something up with it and maybe get some ramp going on. Use one of the Sojourner's Companions to get a land here. Opponent shocks in a Blood Crypt, plays a Goyf. It's a 4/5 already. Okay. We draw a Springleaf Drum. Not necessarily what we wanted. We play an Urza's Saga. We can't get a creature into play this turn, so we're going to pass. We're going to use a Sojourner's Companion to get a Darksteel Citadel. And depending on what we draw, I'm either going to get a Relic or a Ornithopter, I think. With the Urza's Saga that pops here. Opponent plays Monkey. Okay. We get hit for 6. Opponent has Rakdos mana up currently, so they could bolt something pretty easy. We would have liked to draw that, I think. It wouldn't have been the best draw since it's kind of hard for us to get into play immediately, but Thought Monitor is very good against them. Alright, let's go Artifact Land Cycling into Darksteel Citadel. We draw Thought Monitor. Okay. So we can get Thought Monitor into play this turn. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see what our options are. Opponent has 2 mana up, so there's a decent chance they can interact with us. I think I just get Ornithopter here, so we can activate Springleaf Drum. And I get Relic with the next one. So if I get Ornithopter, that gives me 2 artifacts. I play Darksteel Citadel, I have 3. I can pay 1, tap Darksteel Citadel, play, or activate the ability of Urza Saga, so I have 4 artifacts. I can play Springleaf Drum, get up to 5. So I can't quite play Thought Monitor and make a construct at the same time. I think I might be fine just waiting for the construct, though, because if I play Thought Monitor, let's see. So I get Ornithopter, I have 2 artifacts, I play Darksteel Citadel, I have 3. I play Springleaf Drum, I have 4. I have 1, 2, 3 mana. 4, 5, 6, 7, that's just Thought Monitor. We're definitely getting Ornithopter. We know that much. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm trying to see if there's a way for me to play Thought Monitor and get my 4/4s into play this turn. I can go Springleaf Drum, have 4 artifacts. Play Cranioplating, have 5. Actually, if I play Springleaf Drum first, I can get a mana from Thought Monitor. How big is the construct? It's going to be a 4/4 right now, and then a 5/5, so not quite big enough to contend with the Tarmogoyf. Let's go Springleaf Drum. We're definitely playing that this turn. Opponent's going to decide if they want to interact, it looks like. If they interact now, it at least makes our decision-making easier based on what we can do. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we have 5 artifacts and play Thought Monitor. Okay. Or we can go Cranioplating, have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but only 1 extra mana, so we can't play Thought Monitor off of it. Depending on what I draw with Thought Monitor, I could wind up continuing to play things this turn. So I think that's what my plan is. Like, at the very least, I get some card advantage out of this. Welding Jar, Thought Monitor. Ooh. That was a very good set of draws, because Welding Jar can protect our big stuff from removal. Play Welding Jar, that gets us up to 6 if they don't bolt our Thought Monitor here. They should bolt our Thought Monitor here. They do bolt our Thought Monitor here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not quite enough mana to keep doing things after that. Alright, that resolves. And we're just going to pass. Yeah, we would have been able to get these into play. It didn't work out that way, unfortunately. We shouldn't be dead here. Especially since they use the bolt as the removal. They can dash Ragavan again. We'll see what they get. They have 3 cards in hand. They're hitting us for 8. We go to 6. Opponent gets Etched Champion. Not so good against us as it is against them. But we're okay with them taking that. We didn't really want to draw it in this situation. At least not right now. Death Shadow, okay. Monkey gets picked up. They have 1 card left in hand. And Death Shadow's a little small on the small side right now. So let's see. We draw Pithing Needle, which is okay. Let's make our construct. We have 6 artifacts. We're going to search with Urza's Saga. We're going to get probably Relic. They have 2 cards in hand, so they could have 1 piece of removal. If we draw an untapped mana source, we can pop Relic and shrink Tarmogoyf down to 0. Alternatively, we get Shadow Spear so we can gain some life. I don't know if it matters because of the cranial plating, though. Yeah, let's get Relic. Let's go Mirror Enforcer. Thought Monitor. Treasure Vault. Okay, so we drew a way to activate Relic. Play Treasure Vault. Play Sojourner's Companion. And I think we've stabilized now. And next turn, if they don't have appropriate removal, we kill them with Cranial Plating on Thought Monitor since they can't Fatal Push it. Alright, cool. Sweet. And I'll see you in the next one. Alright, round 2 with Affinity, and we don't have any lands, so we are mulliganing. And we don't have any lands again, so we're mulliganing again. Jesus Christ. Alright, so we're at 5. We have a Thought Cast, so we can get some card advantage back. Let's keep both of the lands, the Thought Casts, and I guess both of the 0 drops, so that we can play Thought Cast as quickly as possible. That seems okay, I guess. Ditch you guys. See what our opponent's going to do to us. We can get Thoughtcast down on turn 2, which is nice at least. If our opponent goes turn 1 Ragavan, I'm probably going to run out Memnite Welding Jar, otherwise I'm probably going to keep them in hand. Opponent plays Spire Bluff. Plays Ragavan. Who'da thunk it? Alright, so we can go tapped land, Memnite Welding Jar, which seems okay. Pass the turn. Yes, I will block. Your monkey is just better than my Memnite. Opponent plays DRC, okie dokie. If we draw a Darksteel Citadel or a 0 drop here, we can play Thoughtcast on this turn, otherwise we're going to be waiting an extra turn for it. We draw Urza's Saga. Oh. I think I'm going to wait on the Urza's Saga since I don't have an untapped land to make a construct immediately. And I'm just going to go Misfault Bridge, Frogmite. Because Frogmite can block DRC all day. At least until they have Delirium. They have 3 cards in hand currently. Assuming that there's at least 1 spell in there, they can get a lot of cards in their graveyard pretty easy. They apparently can't. You see, okay, so this is a scenario that I actually ran into during the showcase challenge thing that I played, where Murktide players don't always have removal, so you can just gum up the board and save yourself for several turns by just having a shitty creature. So while these are mostly just ramp pieces for the better affinity cards, occasionally they'll slow down your opponent a lot, and it's very nice. Because now this Frogmite is probably going to buy us enough time to where we can make 2 constructs and also probably get a relic off of this Urza Saga. and then it's harder for them to go over the top of us because they can't give these flying and they can't play their Murktide. Just a very good scenario overall. We draw Sojourner's Companion. That's pretty hard for them to remove as well. Let's go Darksteel Citadel. Thoughtcasts. I probably shouldn't have played that Thoughtcast now that I think about it because they probably have Counterspell. Yeah, they do. Okay. They keep a card on top. Interesting. I could attack with Frogmite, get them down to 16. I'm just going to wait. Leave it up as a blocker still. I think that's more valuable. Well, is it? I'm at 20. I don't really care about my life total that much right now. They didn't put another card in their graveyard, so we're not particularly afraid of them playing a Murktide this turn. And we're going to get to go Construct, Relic most likely, Sojourner's Companion next turn. Although if they're just playing a bunch of counter spells and not planning to do anything else, I might not. They could Archmage's Charm to steal one of these. I could see that happening. We'll see, I guess. We draw Mem Knight. Okay. Make another construct. Okay. I think Relic is still the pick here. If they have Archmage's Charm, there's an argument that I should get Springleaf Drum because then I can tap down whatever they target with Charm in response. But I'm just going to get Relic here and keep them off of Delirium and Murktide. Go ahead and target you. Go to combat. Not attacking with the Frogmite because it's a bit too easy for them to turn these on right now. Okay, they're stealing the one that's tapped. That's fine. Let's play our creatures. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and pop Relic here to keep them off of playing Murktide. We draw Frogmite, okay. Pass the turn. It might have been because we had untapped mana, but I think what they should have done was Archmage's Charm our untapped construct and then block our attacking construct with it. Because it effectively nullifies the damage still. Opponent has effects, it looks like. Do they have another Archmage's Charm is the main question. Because that would be pretty annoying. Looks like they do, yeah. Well, that explains the other decision pretty well. Creature, artifact. Okay. Let's attack. Try to get in for some damage before they stabilize further. We need to draw probably a Thought Monitor or something sometime soon. Would be nice. The double Archmage's Charm was really rough for us, though. Definitely hurts our momentum here. We get in for 4 and we trade for the constructs. Okay. I'm going to keep the welding jar so I can save Sojourner's Companion from removal. Opponent has 3 cards in hand, 4 cards once they have their draw step. If they play a land, they could play Murktide this turn. And if they surveil a little bit more, they can probably turn on both of their DRCs. Unholy Heat on Ornithopter. Okay. They get Delirium. So now they have to attack. Best case scenario for them, I think, is they have their Delirium turned on. They surveil another card, yep. They attack us for 6, and then they get rid of these and play Murktide. Best case scenario for us is either they don't have Murktide or they do and we immediately draw either Thought Monitor or an Ether Spell Bomb. Let's see what they have. Looks like Murktide. Yep. Alright, let's see if we can turn this around again. But this game is not looking like it's in our favor anymore. Springleaf Drum, not what we wanted. We'll play it anyway, just since we know it can get down right now, and we'll pass. So we're taking 6 to Murktide here. We basically have 1, maybe 2 draw steps, depending on how quickly they can turn on their DRCs again. Looks like they're going to be able to get them on again, though. Monkey. And nothing else. Okay. So what did they want for their expressive iteration to hit? Probably a bolt, if I had to guess. Maybe an Unholy Heat. If they tap all their mana to get Delirium here, I might be able to get out of this and win suddenly. Because if I draw Cranial Plating, I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 damage. And if they attack with everything, they won't be able to deal with that. But they have to specifically attack with all their creatures and not play another creature / have mana to interact with us open. But we haven't seen a Cranial Plating yet, so it's not particularly unlikely. Alright, opponent hits us for basically 1,000,000. They still have mana up, so they probably have a counterspell. And if they do have a counterspell, we're just dead. We draw Springleaf Drum, doesn't matter, we concede. Okay. We had a better game than I thought we would based on that mulliganing, but we just weren't able to get back from the 2 Archmage Charms. So let's bring in Pithing Needle, because they're going to bring in some amount of Engineered Explosives, and let's bring in Etch Champion and cut Nettlecyst, because Nettlecyst getting hit by Archmage's Charm is really, really obnoxious, since it actually maintains the +1/+1 for our amount of artifacts, and it can suddenly kill us, where the constructs shrink themselves, and the Cranial Plating we can at least re-equip pretty quickly, sometimes at instant speed. So we just really don't want Nettlecyst against them, because it can make us kill ourselves occasionally. And we're going to cut... I like Memnite because it's good against Ragavan, so I'm going to cut Gingerbrute. I used to sideboard a bit more against Murktide, but I wound up just cutting down to these 2 and these 2. I used to bring in like Metallic Rebukes to stop some of their interaction and to stop the occasional Blood Moon, but usually it's not worth it compared to just trying to do our plan A as best we can and getting like 4/4s and hopefully just powering the game out rather. Yes, we'll take the play. This hand is incredibly mid. It doesn't die to an Alpine Moon, which is a plus. We can go turn 1 Springleaf Drum, turn 2 Cranial Plating, turn 3 play a 4/4, which isn't the most powerful thing ever, but it's at least... I don't want to go on the mulliganing game like we did last time, so I think I want to keep it. And I think I do want to play Springleaf Drum on 1 instead of playing Silver Bluff Bridge. Although maybe there's an argument for playing the bridge first. Alright, let's see if our opponent has turn 1 Ragavan again, because that would be kind of bad news for us. Opponent bobbles themselves. Fetches with Scalding Tarn, they didn't like what they saw. And passes, sweet, no monkey. No monkey is even better than us having an immediate blocker for the monkey. Opponent has Steam Vents up, which means they could easily counter Cranial Plating with a Spell Pierce if they have it, so I think I just want to play around that by not using our mana and instead playing a tapped land that we're going to need to play eventually anyway this turn. This way next turn I can still play a 4/4 by playing Darksteel Citadel, or I can play another tapped land and play Cranial Plating if I think that's a better play. I would really rather wait on the 4/4s until we have a Relic effect. Now they have actual Counterspell up. We draw Mistvault Bridge. They're still not using their mana, so I think I want to wait again. Play Mistvault Bridge, pass. I want to wait until I can double cast, because I don't want them to be able to just play the tempo game and get value against us like that. Opponent plays DRC, okie dokie. We draw. Mistvault Bridge again. We are kind of flooding out right now. So we go Cranial Plating to counter it. We play Darksteel Citadel. We have 2 untapped land and 5 artifacts, so we go Sojourner's Companion, tap Sojourner's Companion, play Sojourner's Companion. Seems good. They're thinking about it. I don't like that they already have Delirium, so now they can Unholy Heat to kill our Sojourner's Companions pretty easily. Does not seem like a good deal. Would definitely rather have a Relic or something. Okay, opponent counterspells. I'm going to yield to the DRC effect because I'm never going to respond to that, really. And we get some 4/4s that hopefully they can't answer immediately. And let's see what we continue to draw. Hopefully if we draw more lands, it's at least the land that gives us big dudes. Because more do-nothing lands would be very depressing. We get hit for 3. That is absolutely okay, and we can't do anything about it anyway. So we go to 17. Opponent plays Unholy Heat, because of course they do. And they can follow this up pretty easily with a Murktide Regent or another Unholy Heat, and then I'd be very sad. Fury, okay. That's a little bit of a better deal for us than them just Unholy Heating it at least, so that's something. Opponent has 3 cards in hand. They still have Counterspell up. We draw more fucking lands. We're drawing so bad this match. Oh my god. And now even if we do draw something decent, they're probably going to have another counterspell up, which is probably why they played Fury there. Things are bad. They thought about sacking Fiery Islet, but they chose not to. We're in such a bad spot. Mirror Enforcer. Do I play it now and let them just counter it? I guess I do. I'm going to use the mana for it since it doesn't really make a difference. At least they can think about whether they want to counter this or if I'm going to follow it up with something. Okay, it goes through. We at least have a 4/4. They can probably Unholy Heat it again. We'll see, I guess. They could also Prismari command to shatter it. Is an option. They draw 2 with Archmage's Charm, so they just didn't care about our 4/4. I see how it is. Yeah, I don't... Unless they just somehow don't have counterspells in the 6-card hand that they have, I don't really think that we can get out of this from where we are, since we don't have any action going on. Other option is maybe they do have counterspells, but we draw an Urza's Saga. Looks like they have Murktide here, and then I think we're pretty much just dead. Because they play Murktide. Murktide's big as shit. They don't have Delirium, at least. And they only have 1 mana, so maybe I can get this Thoughtcast to resolve. Because they can't Spell Pierce it. I can pay for that. Alright, well that is not the snowball we needed necessarily. But it's something, I guess. I'm just going to leave the Misfault Bridge in my hand to make them think that I might have more action for later. But I think they probably know that if I had anything going on, I would have played it here. So it likely doesn't matter. Opponent plays Unholy Heat, targeting Ornithopter. Okay. They get Delirium again. We're going to be at 1. If they have another Murktide or they have a Bolt, we are dead. They probably have a Bolt, if I had to guess. Yep, opponent's got it. Okay, GG's to you. Unfortunately, that one did not work out for us. And I'll see you in the next match. Alright, starting up round 3 with Affinity. We're on the draw. This hand seems pretty good. We're a little bit land heavy, but I'm not going to complain. Let's see. Guess we'll keep. We'd really like to draw an Ornithopter or a Memnite. Frogmite's decent. I think I just want to start with Misfault Bridge Go. Go ahead and get the tapped land out of the way. Our opponent led on Wooded Foothills and has not drawn another land. That's pretty good news for us. Let's play Urza's Saga. Play Springleaf Drum. Go. Opponent found another land. They found a Stomping Ground. Are they just playing Gruul, or are they playing a Jund deck or something? They get a Steam Vents. They go down to 15. So what is this? They play Wrenn and 6, so they're not playing a Cascade deck. They might just be playing... They're not playing a Yorion deck, so it looks like they're probably just playing like a Teamer mid-range deck. I assume they're going to plus Wrenn and 6 and get Foothills, right? Yeah. Maybe they would have been really aggressive and gone face, who knows. Alright, Saga ticks up. We can play Darksteel Citadel, that gets us to 3 artifacts. We can activate Saga, go up to 4, play Frogmite, go up to 5. We wouldn't quite be able to play Thought Monitor yet, so we might as well wait. and just go Darksteel Citadel pass. Our construct isn't going to die to a bolt, but it could die to an Unholy Heat if they get Delirium here. Sacred Foundry, so they're playing at least 4 colors. Teferi. Okay. What does Teferi want to do? Teferi pluses. Okay. So I'm most concerned about them having like a Solitude or something to protect their walkers, I think. We go up to 3 with Urza's Saga. We make another construct. What do we want to search out? Probably a Springleaf Drum. Maybe Relic. I'm leaning towards just Springleaf Drum, so if we draw another Thought Monitor, we can play it. So I think that's what I want. Play Thought Monitor. Draw 2. We did not draw another Thought Monitor. We play an Urza's Saga. Okay. We play a Cranial Plating. Okay. We attack Teferi for 1 billion. And do I think they're going to have a Wrath? We have a Saga anyway, so I think I'm just going to play Frogmite. They could be playing basically anything. There's a decent chance, I guess, that they're playing Omnaths and stuff since they're in the right colors, and it would make sense if they're playing a mid-rangey deck. But they're not playing Elementals because they don't have the Kahira Companion, and they also aren't playing 4-color Blink because they don't have Yorion. So far, what we've seen out of their deck is kind of limited, but it just seems like a pile of cards that would be better if they had Yorion so far. Which is kind of the way Yorion is, I guess. Not necessarily the healthiest thing for the format, but I don't mind Yorion as much as I did with Lurrus, so it's okay. What do you guys think? Is Yorion... Like, obviously it's not as strong, but is Yorion as toxic for the meta as Lurrus was? Although it's definitely seeing plenty of representation and it's strong, I don't think it is personally, because I kind of buy into the Saffron Olive argument of Lurrus limits the amount of cards that you can have in your deck, and it makes the amount of playable cards in the format go down, which makes it overall just everything less fun. Okay, so they're playing a creativity deck. Where Yorion actually expands on that, because suddenly there are a bunch of shitty cards like whatever the card is that the single green enchantment that makes your land tap for whatever and draws a card when it enters. Like, nobody played that until Yorion was around. Stuff like that. You actually get more cards in the meta. So I think it overall adds to the fun. I think, like, I understand that it's really hard to beat decks like that as a mid-range deck. But I think you kind of just have to get over that at a certain point. Because the Yorion strategies are just mid-range decks, but a bit stronger for the most part. Let's see. Opponent's at 9, which means the construct is lethal. So I can go, what? They have to block the construct or remove it. Right? And if I go equip, attack, they can block and then just remove Thought Monitor with like a bolt. But if I go attack, they block or remove construct, and then they still have to remove something, but I get some extra damage in, and I still get the construct. Yeah, I'm just a little bit shy of being able to make a construct and then also do the instant speed equip on top of regular equip. Alright, let's go to combat. I'm not particularly scared of Ren and 6 ulting because we can get Relic and then Retrace just doesn't matter anymore. So I usually just kind of let Ren and 6s go, unless I have a bunch of X1s in my hand that I don't want to die. So let's see what they do here. I'd rather them remove Frogmite than Thought Monitor, since Thought Monitor's a little bit better. And if they don't have removal anyway, we just win. So, yeah, they have a Bolt, that's fine. They can get... They go down to 6, they can get 1 Archon here. Maybe 2 if they, since they have Dwarven Mine. And I think I can still get there. Depends on if they're playing the Archon version, I guess. Okay, they're playing Sarah's Emissary. That's a lot worse for us. Oh, they got protection from creatures instead of protection from artifacts. Okay, so we win. Because we just have the right stuff in our deck for that. Yeah, they definitely should have picked protection from artifacts. RIP opponent. Bounce. Aha. Alright. Got him. Yeah, all of our things are artifacts. Definitely should have picked artifacts, but now they know. And against this build of creativity, we probably want Needle for Teferi and possible engineered explosives and maybe hitting fetch lands to be cheeky. And we probably just want all the rebukes. Grafdigger's Cage does not do anything against them because it exiles the cards before putting them into play, living in style. So it's not particularly good. Gingerbrute is good because it can get in even if they have blockers, which they can make pretty easily with the tokens. What do we want to cut? Them playing a Ren and 6 deck makes me want to go down Memnites. And I like Relic. I think I just cut down on double Mirror Enforcer, cut down on Nettlecyst maybe? Curse Totem doesn't really do anything. Tormod's Crypt probably doesn't do anything. Damping Sphere doesn't really do anything. There's an argument for Etch Champion, but I like it better against actual control decks instead of against decks with combo finishes, because Etch Champion is usually better if you both kind of wear each other down to the point of parity and then suddenly top deck this. Yeah, Nettlecyst. Yeah, let's play it like this. We basically just want to play out our threats like normal and then have maybe one Metallic Rebuke to either stop their combo card, the creativity, or stop an important interaction piece and get them to die. Alright, we don't have any lands in here, so let's mulligan. This hand is somewhere between being good and sucking. If we had a Memnite, I'd be more happy about it. I'm not going to go down any further, so I'm going to keep this, and I'm going to get rid of... I think do I get rid of Relic and lose the extra draw? Or do I get rid of Cranial Plating because it costs an extra mana to play? I think I like Relic less. Because Cranial Plating at least means that once we find a creature, we'll have a threat. We need to draw a land pretty bad. We draw a Metallic Rebuke. That is not a land. I'd love to draw a Darksteel Citadel. Drawing an Urza Saga would be fine, but it doesn't get us to Thoughtcast quite as quickly. So we'll see. They could pretty easily Prismatic end the Springleaf Drum, and that could set us back pretty bad. But if we draw an untapped land and can continue to develop our board while holding up Metallic Rebuke, that's pretty good for us. Looks like they might go Wrenn and 6 here. They don't. And we draw Memnite. Interesting. Alright, we still don't have the ability to hold up Metallic Rebuke, so I think I just want to go Springleaf Drum pass and hope that they don't, like, Engineered Explosives me out of the game. Memnite's also less safe since they have Wrenn and 6. And also it dies to pretty much all their removal. Yeah, there's Wrenn and 6. We draw Thought Monitor. That could be good. If I don't go Memnite here, I'm basically just holding up Metallic Rebuke, which might be the plan. If I play Memnite, I get to get one Thoughtcast or Cranial Plating out of it, and then it just dies to Wrenn and 6. Although cashing it in for a Thoughtcast right now might not be that bad of a deal. Just because I need to get extra cards anyway. I think I'm going to do that and hope that I hit a land drop. They shouldn't have a counterspell up. They might have a force or something. Okay, we get an Urza's Saga. That's kind of nice. We're going to play that for sure. We have so many Metallic Rebukes, my god. Do they have removal for Saga? Might have a March. They have a Tear. Okay. Can't do anything about that. We can hope that we draw Darksteel Citadel. Looks like they might have us dead here. They get Emrakul. Alright, we're probably dead. Alright, we're definitely dead. Okay. That was a rough hand. Let's see. I think I'm going to keep everything the same. Run it back. Hope for better luck with my starting hand. That hand was definitely sketchy. I think it was worth keeping still rather than mulliganing to 5, but yeah, it didn't work out that great. We will take the play. This hand seems fine. We'll keep it. So we know they have Wear Tear, so they can get rid of Urza's Saga pretty easy. I think the plan is going Darksteel Citadel, Springleaf Drum, go. And then next turn probably playing the basic island instead of Urza's Saga, because I want to be able to hold up Metallic Rebuke to protect Saga. Which is kind of the same play pattern that I usually have against the 4-color Yorion decks. Or even if you can play Saga on 2, it's usually better to wait until you can protect it. We draw Thoughtcast. Okay. Let's play an island. We can hold up Metallic Rebuke. If they go for like a Wrenn and 6, there's a decent chance that I'm going to counter it. Because then I can just go Urza's Saga Thoughtcast next turn. Opponent gets a Triome. Opponent has... What do they have? Wooded Foothills. And passes. Okay. We draw Mistvault Bridge. I might actually wait again. I think I will wait again. They're not pressuring us right now, so we have time. And I'd rather have another blue source so that we can play more than one spell a turn. Thoughtcasting into more action would be fantastic. Opponent plays a tapped Dwarven Mine. That's pretty good news. They still don't have a Wrenn and 6. They do have actual counterspell mana up, though, now. We drew a 1-drop, so we can go Relic. We can go Thoughtcast off of that. We draw more stuff. We can... what? Play Urza's Saga? because we still have Metallic Rebuke up. Play a Relic. Now we can pass. Looks like Teferi, maybe? Yeah. So we're definitely rebuking Teferi, because if we don't rebuke it, rebuke gets turned off anyway, so we're basically just losing the card no matter what. I probably should have tapped Relic first to eat a land, since their lands are a bit better in their graveyard than Teferi is. But they might just exile a land anyway. They did exile a land anyway. We draw another Metallic Rebuke, that's a good draw. That means we can probably just do the tempo plan with Urza's Saga here. What do we have going on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can play Mistfault Bridge, play Thought Monitor. We draw another Thought Monitor and a Thought Cast. I'm gonna wait on those and just plan on using Urza's Saga and a Metallic Rebuke, I think. But we have a lot of cards in hand, even though it only looks like 4 to our opponent right now. Part of what I love so much about this deck is once you cast the first draw 2, it's just so easy to keep finding more of them, and you can just spiral out of control really quickly. Opponent plays a Scalding Tarn. Alright, let's make a construct. 1, 2, 3. We can activate one of these and still hold up Metallic Rebuke. Activate Urza's Saga again. Let's see if our opponent lets us ultimate the Urza's Saga before they fetch. They do. Alright, Pithing Needle. Name Scalding Tarn. Got a free Stone Rain and 2 10/10s out of that. What a busted land. Go to combat. Attack, attack. Opponent takes it. Let's play a Thought Cast in case they have a Wrath here. Pass the turn. We already have plenty of pressure, so there's not really reason to devote the Thought Monitor to the board again. Opponent plays Dwarven Mine. Looks like they're going to go for Creativity. We're going to go for Metallic Rebuke. And we got it. Sweet. Yeah, that game just worked perfectly for us. That game was as good as the last game was bad. I'll see you in the next one. Alright, round 4 with Affinity. Our opponent's on the play. We only have one land, so I think I'm mulliganing. Yeah, the Cranial Platings basically don't do anything if we don't get to them. It's hard to get to Mirror Enforcer with this hand. Yeah, let's mulligan. One land again. Fucking Nettle Cyst. I hate that card. Mulligan. Alright. 1, 2. I want to keep at least one Thought Monitor, I think. I think this is the hand I'm keeping. Double Thought Monitor would be nice, but it's really hard to get to it with our current hand. Definitely getting rid of Mirror Enforcer. And yeah, I think I need to ditch a Thought Monitor. Alright, we'll see what we draw. Opponent is also playing Affinity, it looks like. I wonder if it's the same build, or if they're playing blue-white or something. Looks like a similar build. Alright, we drew Mistfault Bridge, which is nice at least. Let's just pass after that. Yeah, it looks like the same build. They have a much better hand than we do, though. Which is a little unfortunate. My god. Oh no, I'm getting steamrolled. Not like this. Not by my own deck. They're playing Glimmervoid. Okay, it's not the exact same list. We can go Darksteel Citadel, 0/0, can't play Thought Monitor yet. So let's play Saga. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If they have a cranial plating, they can just equip it to Thought Monitor, so it's not going to matter that much. So I'm just going to pass. If they are out of action, I might be able to stabilize with this Urza Saga. If not, then it's not going to matter that much anyway. Oh, this is a Neoform deck. Okay, well, I'm fucked. That should make the sideboard games a little bit easier, at least. And I take 1,000,000 to Craterhoof, as you do. The Neoform lists are so cool. It's a very fun way to play the deck. Alright, so let's bring in Hurkyl's Recall, because hell yes. Let's bring in Grafdigger's Cage, since it's good against Neoform. And let's bring in Pithing Needle, since it's good against Affinity Mirrors in general. Probably not bringing in Metallic Rebuke. We will see, I guess. You take out Relics, because it doesn't do anything. Gingerbread's going to be really good. Aether Spellbomb is mid. It's mostly for picking up our Thought Monitors. Nettle Cyst is too slow. Welding Jar basically doesn't do anything. Yeah, I don't want to oversideboard, so let's not bring in the Metallic Rebukes. Let's just rely on Hurkyl's Recall and playing Slim and Lucky. And hopefully not mulliganing to 5 again. Alright, we have Grafdigger's Cage, which is one of our few secret weapons against them. And other than that, this hand's pretty decent, so let's keep. It at least turns off the Neoform Nut Draw, so that's good. Leading on a tapped land again. Opponent also leads on a tapped land. We can go land Grafdigger's Cage. We can't play Thoughtcast yet, so we might as well play a tapped land Grafdigger's Cage. And next turn we're going to draw a bunch of cards. Springleaf Drum. Frogmite. Frogmite. If the Craterhoof Affinity deck got more popular, I think I would occasionally swap out my Silverbluff Bridges for Tanglepool Bridges to make people think I'm playing Hoof. Because that seems funny. We drew a Saga, so I guess we're playing Saga. Play Frogmite. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can't play that yet. We can play Thoughtcasts. Play our other Thoughtcasts. Alright. Lots of lands, not a lot of other action currently. But we do have double Urza Saga and another Pithing Needle just in case they play something that we want to hit with that. Opponent can hit us for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not worth blocking. Opponent plays Nettle Cyst. Okay. So opponent's just on a regular beatdown plan right now, it looks like. But we have Saga. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go ahead and make the construct. Play Thought Monitor. See if we draw some free 4/4s. We do. We drew 2 free 4/4s, no less. So that's the exact optimal amount of free 4/4s to draw off of a draw 2. Alright, I think we should have this game now. Opponent has a Cranial Plating. But we have a lot of blockers, and they have 2 cards in hand. If they have a Hurkyl's Recall, then all bets are off, but I think we can get them with the Cranial Plating this turn. They don't have Hurkyl's Recall mana up. Do they attack? They don't. We can... What? They can block here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, they're dead. They should be at least. They might have something with Springleaf Drum, but who knows. I'm just going to tap for mana here because I want to use it on things that are not a construct. Because we can get an Aether Spellbomb. We can Bounce the germ. Okay, opponent concedes. Sweet. We didn't even have to show them the cranial plating there. And let's just do that same thing again in game 3, but maybe featuring us using a Hurkyl's Recall on them, maybe. I actually ran into this mirror at F&M a couple weeks ago, and we had a game where we each Hurkyl's Recalled each other at some point. It was very topsy-turvy. This hand seems pretty sweet. We have Hurkyl's Recall, we have Saga, we have some acceleration, we have draws. Yeah. Hurkyl's Recall also protects us from the Crater Hoof thing, but it also protects us from their main plan. So it's pretty much good no matter what. Play tap land, go. We drew another Thoughtcast. Not exactly what we wanted. We're pretty blue spell heavy with only having one blue card right now. Opponent plays Frogmite. Let's play Urza's Saga. Okay. Springleaf Drum. Memnite. How much do I think they're suddenly going to be able to Neoform me? They only have 3 cards in hand, so I don't really think they will. So let's play a Thoughtcast here. We can play an Ornithopter as a blocker for 2 damage just in case, I guess. Opponent land cycles. Okay. So now they're on the back foot. Pretty bad. We take 2, that's okay. Not the end of the world. Saga ticks up. We played Darksteel Citadel. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 artifacts. We're probably not gonna Hurkyl's Recall here. So let's just get Thoughtcasts. Get a free creature with Frogmite. Pass. Yeah, I'm just going to plan on making a construct. If I need to Hurkyl's Recall, I can, but I probably won't need to, I don't assume. They could actually make... Okay, they play Nettlecyst, that's fine. I'm probably going to Hurkyl's Recall them on my turn, just so they can't really rebuild. Okay, they had a lot of free stuff. Make a construct. If I drew cranial plating, so they are just actually dead now. At least they should be. Let's get, what do we want to get? Springleaf Drum? Play Treasure Vault. Make you pick up all of your stuff. Play Cranial Plating. Yeah, opponent's dead. And attack you. Hooray! Got him. Hurkyl's Recall getting in there. Love that card. Whenever it's not targeting me, I love Hurkyl's Recall. Whenever it is targeting me, I hate it. But that's the nature of this mirror, I guess. And I'll see you in the next one. Alright, final round with Affinity. We won the die roll. And we actually have a hand that we don't have to mulligan. Oh my god. So let's keep. We can get Thoughtcast down on turn 2 pretty easy with this hand. Our opponent's mulliganing to 6. Play Mistvault Bridge, pass the turn. No reason to run out Memnite, since it just gets easily removed, and I'd rather use it on a turn where I get a discount. Opponent plays Seachrome Coast. Probably means Hammer Time. We draw Mistvault Bridge. How do we want to play this? I think I want to go Memnite, Land, Frogmite, Frogmite Thoughtcasts. Playing Memnite before the land, since they can't respond to the land, but they could respond to the Memnite if they had something. Playing both the Frogmites, Thoughtcast, we draw 2. We get an Ornithopter. We can't quite play the 4/4s yet, unfortunately, so I'm just going to pass. If we had drawn a Frogmite and an Ornithopter, we would have been able to get at least one 4/4, but two 4/4s is better than one anyway, so I will take it. I'd like to draw a Cranial Plating or something else to speed up our clock a little bit. Opponent plays Memnite. Still could be Hammer Time, could be Affinity with really slow start land-wise. Let's see. Instead of playing the 4/4s out now, I think I'm going to go to combat. Because if they have removal or something, I'd rather them use it on something that's less impactful. It goes to 15. Play a 4/4. Opponent. Metallic Rebukes. Okay. Well, guess what? Play a 4/4. Okay. Alright, we really want to draw a Cranial Plating. Cranial Plating would be really, really good. We probably just have him dead without that anyway, but... So I think Metallic Rebuke actually puts them more in the blue-white affinity camp, right? Yeah, Razortide Bridge definitely does. Okay. Opponent plays Relic. I ran into the other affinity player in the top 8 of the Showcase Challenge event that I was playing too. And unfortunately, I lost. I think in general, the mono blue affinity deck should have the edge against them. But I think what went wrong for me, well, I know what went wrong for me was that for some reason I was very sure that they were playing a Hammer Time deck, even though I hadn't seen Colossus Hammer. I probably should have waited until after combat in case they had another Metallic Rebuke, but luckily it didn't matter. Not as good as drawing Cranial Plating there, but it's still something. Shouldn't have attacked with Ornithopter, just click through it, but whatever. We'll play our other Ornithopter just in case it mattered. But yeah, the big difference between how we side against Affinity and Hammer Time is against Hammer Time you actually want Metallic Rebukes, because they're more focused on specific cards that are really strong. Where against Affinity, it's kind of hard to hit something appropriate with Metallic Rebuke, because we're either casting things for free and it doesn't matter anyway, or the board has already gotten out of hand and then you just get your counterspell stuck in your hand, like we saw with Blue-Red Murktide earlier. So let's bring in Hercules, let's bring in Pithing Needle, and pretty much nothing else matters that much. We're going to cut both the relics, and we're going to cut a welding jar, and just do it like that. Nettlecyst is fine because we're going to be competing for whoever has the bigger creature in general, and the main reason that I think mono blue affinity usually has an edge over blue-white affinity in the mirror match is more of our cards in general, but especially more of our mana base is just artifacts. So if we are both making constructs with Urza's Saga, more often than not we have significantly larger constructs than they do. That's part of the idea that I had with the way that I wanted to design this deck. Not that I designed Affinity, but out of the decisions that I made. No lands, so let's mulligan. I wanted this deck to be the best at abusing the second ability of Urza's Saga in the entire format. We got mulligan again. Okay, we have... I think I keep this 5 because I want Hercules Recall. You always want at least 2 lands because it's a lot easier to go from 2 to 3 than from 1 to 2. And we have a Midnight and a Thoughtcast we can play kind of early, so we just have to ditch the 4/4s, unfortunately. I'll play Darksteel Citadel. If they have a very artifact-heavy mana base this game, that'll pay us off for having Hercules Recall pretty well. Let's just play Mistfall Bridge Go. No reason to show them Midnight. Gonna play Saga. So far, Hurkyl's Recall's looking really good. Springleaf Drum, okay. So if we go Hurkyl's Recall on our turn, they're able to get their board back pretty quickly, and they can still get one construct, right? So it doesn't cut off all the constructs. Looks like they might have, what do they have? Void Mirror. That's kind of bad news. Actually, Void Mirror is an interesting sideboard card for them to have. That does make me wish that I ran out Memnite so I could Thoughtcast here, but we can make them pick that up with Hurkyl's Recall, and then it doesn't matter so much. If I Hurkyl's Recall here, what happens? If I don't Hurkyl's Recall, they could have Metallic Rebuke that they hold up, but I think I'm willing to risk that to try to get a better Hurkyl's. Because I think Hurkyl's Recall being as busted as possible is how I swing this game into my favor, since they have an Urza Saga start and didn't mulligan as much as we did. They play another Saga. Okay. That complicates things a little bit. Esper Sentinel. Okay. They don't have blue mana. So if I Hurkyl's now, they draw a card, but they put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards in their hand, so they have to discard that card at end of turn anyway. They get to make one construct by tapping first and then making the construct, but I think that's okay in exchange for me being able to Thoughtcast next turn. Alternatively, I have to hope to fade Metallic Rebuke again and possibly take a hit from a construct, which does not sound very sexy. But it does turn off their other Urza Saga from making constructs. I think I need to recall here. No. Alright, opponent had F6, so they didn't get a construct. If I somehow draw the other Hurkyl's Recall with Thoughtcast, that would be fantastic. Void Mirror definitely complicates things. At least it possibly turns off some of their cards in hand too, depending on how they draw. But I still think we're in a bad spot because of these sagas. Okay, we drew our own Urza Saga, which can help a decent amount. And we drew more Thoughtcast effects. Or one more Thoughtcast effect, but we still have 2 in hand. Let's see what our opponent fetches up. I could see it being a Needle for cranial plating. To get a Springleaf Drum for ramp. Okay. So that way they can make a construct with this Urza Saga this turn. Do they want to get Void Mirror down, or do they want to make a construct? They can play Esper Sentinel either way. Well, they discarded Esper Sentinel. I wonder if that's their only Esper Sentinel or if they had two. I just realized that they discarded it for end of turn. If they don't play one, that's great because that means we can Thoughtcast and not give them a card. And still keep our mana up. Shadow Spear, okay. If we can draw the other Hurkyl's Recall, that would be so good. Alright. We drew Sojourner's Companion. Let's draw with Thoughtcast. Okay. We don't have another blue yet, but we get to do some stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I put plating on Memnite. What? Do I just trade with Memnites? Do they let it through, or do they... I assume that they would trade with a Memnite instead of blocking. Yeah, let's leave up the blocker for their construct. In case we need it. Them having Shadow Spear already is a little bit annoying, because it makes it harder for us to just chump block our way out of this. But we can get a construct next turn, along with playing Thought Monitor. That seems good. There's a decent chance they're going to get Needle with this Urza Saga to turn off our Urza Saga, which would be a little bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I actually attack with this Memnite. Let them block with the other Memnite to reduce their artifact count, and then switch the cranial plating over. I think that's the best plan. Because just blocking the construct with the Memnite doesn't actually kill it right now, since they're going to be able to get at least 2 more artifacts into play next turn. But Sojourner's Companion is significantly larger, at least right now. I assume that they're going to get Needle. We'll see, I guess. If I hadn't re-equipped cranial plating, maybe that would have convinced them to needle cranial plating instead of Saga, but probably not. They could also maybe get like Ether Spell Bomb. They did not get a needle. They must not have sighted it in, or they have it in hand. Portable Hull, okay. So I'm going to take 9 here, it looks like. They have 3 cards in hand currently. We drew a Frogmite, that's a good draw. We need to get our artifact count up as much as possible so our construct is large. So let's play Frogmite. Let's play Thought Monitor, see what we draw. Gingerbrute Thought Monitor. We don't have double blues, so the extra Thought Monitor doesn't really help. We don't have the mana to play Gingerbrute and also make a construct. Our opponent can hit us for a bunch. We can make a construct. It'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 power and toughness. We can hit our opponent for 6 now. If our opponent has a dispatch, we're gonna die to the trampoline boy. But I think that might just be a risk we have to take. Alright, let's go to combat. Let's attack with... I think I want to hold them back for now, just in case. Because we can swing so much with our life totals, this matchup, it's worth usually just holding on and not overcommitting in case they have something to blow you out. Ingenious Smith, okay. That's not a blowout immediately. If they attack with double construct, we have to chump block 1, and then we can block 1 with a construct and something else and get it to die. So that would be good, I guess. Did they not get anything off Ingenious Smith? They didn't. Weird. That's lucky for us. They did not give a construct trample. Okay. So we're gonna block. Do I even block with everything now? Since they don't have trample? Do I need to trade for... Hold on. So if I just chump block, they don't have trample. This is going to go down to 6. I can what? I can get my own Shadow Spear. And if I draw land, I can make a construct too. Because if I block here, and I chump block with the other one, I'm going to lose both the Frogmites. Construct goes down to 6 and it dies. Or I block Frogmite, and then I block Construct Sojourner's Companion, so it has... So Frogmite dies, this goes down to 7, so I still just lose a construct to get rid of one of their constructs, but I don't get to gain as much life. But that does get them down a construct, so that's something, I guess. But it gets us down 2 artifacts. If we go down 2 artifacts, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We still have plenty of artifacts. I think that's worth it. Let's double block like this, and let's chump with a Frogmite. If you think I should have just blocked with Frogmite, yell at me in the comments. I would like to know what other ways you envision this working out. They gotta have something to play, right? Yeah, they have a dispatch, okay. So dispatch at least means that even if I had gone the more conservative route, I would have been in danger. So that's something, I guess. So I can make a construct here, and I can get Ether Spellbomb, which can bounce whatever construct they give lifelink. Or I can get Springleaf Drum and just hope for the best. Is Springleaf Drum and hope for the best play here? Because I make a construct, they still have significant board advantage over us. I can draw 4 cards to try to draw a Hurkyl's Recall again. And drawing a Hurkyl's Recall again would do it, but it's very unlikely since we only have 1 left in our deck. Because I make a construct, it is just a 6/6. Becomes a 7/7 with Ether Spell, with Spell Bomb in play. I still have to chump block and then bounce a construct. Although I guess it gets me to untap again, at least. See, I think I just have to get Ether Spell Bomb. That's the safer way to do it. I could try to wing it and just draw Hurkyl's Recall. Actually, yeah, I only would have been able to draw 2 cards, so there's no way I should have done that. Oh, I can Needle Shadow Spear. I could Needle Shadow Spear. And then hope that they don't have Portable Hole, I guess? Spellbomb gets rid of a construct. I think I still like the Spellbomb play better. Since it doesn't die to Portable... Since I don't die to Portable Hole that way, and it actually gets rid of one of their constructs. Okay. I'm going to leave up all my blockers, just in case something weird happens, since they do have dispatches. We're going to chump block with a Frogmite. We might wind up blocking with a Thought Monitor. We will see. Opponent's got 3 cards and 4 mana. So lots of things could happen here. We need to get some good draws over the next turn or two to be able to turn this around. Opponent having Thought Monitor is not what we wanted, because that's going to grow Ingenious Smith and also get them more things, and also grow their constructs. So if they equip Shadow Spear to a construct, I bounce that construct with Ether Spell Bomb. I chump block the other one. I'm going to get to draw some cards next turn, maybe play Gingerbrute as a chump blocker. I think one of the best draws I have is, well, other than Hurkyl's Recall, which picks up pretty much everything on their board, so of course that would be a good draw. One of my best draws is Pithing Needle to turn off the Shadow Spear or my own Shadow Spear. Because us taking the hit earlier means that our opponent getting in with a Trampoline XX is going to kill us most of the time. Portable Hole, that gets rid of our construct, that sucks. So they did have Portable Hole, so it was right for me to get Ether Spell Bomb at least. Yeah, I think I just... Apparently they're hitting Ether Spell Bomb with it. Okay. So that means they are going to be able to get in with Shadow Spear on a guy. What do they have? Okay, they're just tapping for mana. But we're not quite dead if we block with our construct, I guess. Or if they do something really weird. Yeah, so now we have to block with the construct, which does still suck for us. Alright, they are tapped out of colored mana. We have to chump block with our construct, and we need to draw Hurkyl's Recall. Or we need to Thoughtcast and draw like Springleaf Drum Hurkyl's Recall. That would be the nut. Alright, drew Darksteel Citadel. Springleaf Drum Hurkyl's Recall, come on. We drew Springleaf Drum. We don't have... We can play Springleaf Drum We can Thoughtcast again, try to draw another Springleaf Drum and Hurkyl's Recall. I guess. Okay. We did draw another Springleaf Drum, we just couldn't find the other Hurkyl's Recall, unfortunately. And that'll do it for this game. Alright. Double Affinity Mirror is really interesting for this video, I think. Do I want to change anything? Probably not. Yeah, I think I'm pretty much fine as is. Hopefully being on the play will make enough of a difference to where we can get all of our stuff into play before our opponent plays like Void Mirror or something again. Huh. This hand's weird. It's not very ideal. We play a tap land, we play a Springleaf Drum. We don't do anything for a really long time with this hand, so I'm gonna mulligan. This hand doesn't do anything for a long time either, because it only has one land and it doesn't have blue. Good lord. Alright. I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna get rid of, I think, Memnite Ornithopter. We kind of have a plan. It's not very good. But that was, again, way more mulliganing than I would like to be doing. Just to not drawing lands. Opponent plays a tap land. Okie dokie. We draw Cranial Plating. That's not bad. Let's get our free stuff into play before they can play Void Mirror. And next turn, we're either playing Cranial Plating or Nettle Cysts, depending. Opponent plays Urza's Saga. Ingenious Smith. What do they get? Did they whiff again? That'd be funny. Them having Urza's Saga before we do again is unfortunate. This is very much a matchup about whoever can make the most constructs the fastest. Portable Hole. Okay, that makes Cranial Plating worse. We draw our own Urza's Saga though, so that's nice. So let's play Saga. I think I would actually rather... Do I Nettle Cyst or do I Plating here? They both get hit in a way with Portable Hole. Cranial Plating gets damage in right now, but Cranial Plating is also better later if they don't Portable Hole it. So I think I'd rather get down Nettle Cyst and attack for 2 since they have a 1/1. And hopefully we can just keep them on the defensive long enough that they can't really develop their board, because like if they have to Portable Hole here, they can't make a token with their Urza's Saga. And then we can just keep the tempo on our side and finish them off with a surprise Cranial Plating. So they are holding up. Ooh, we drew Hurkyl's Recall. Hell yeah. Alright, things are feeling nice. Things are feeling really nice. So if they make a construct, it's just a 2/2, which means that we can kill it with Frogmite. They can also make Ingenious Smith into a 2/2. Let's go to combat. Attack, attack. They could also have Hurkyl's Recall, technically. Okay. We get in with our Nettle Cyst Germ token. Opponent's going to make a construct. And I'm going to make a construct in case they have a needle. So if our opponent goes like Springleaf Drum, Land, Hercules Recall, that's very sad for us. But at least we have a Hercules Recall, so we're not going to die instantly to it. But it still would be heartbreaking. And if they don't have that, we just get to untap and Hercules Recall them, especially if they use the last of their mana or they don't have Metallic Rebuke up. Seachrome Coast, what you got? Do you have the recall that's going to make me want to cry? Taps for a white, portable hole. Okay. I get a token. That's okay. Do they have more removal? Looks like it. They have a Springleaf Drum. And then... So if I Hercules Recall them, they're going to get their portable hole back, and then they can hit our Germ token or a Construct token with it, which is a little obnoxious. Opponent has a Thought Monitor, draws some cards. I think I would rather recall sooner than later. Okay, opponent's at 12 currently. How do I want to play this? I get a Construct. That gets me to 6 artifacts. Well, it gets me to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 artifacts. I was miscounting because this counts the enchantment. That gets me to 5. I get a Springleaf Drum most likely. That gets me to 6. And then I can play Mirror Enforcer off of the Springleaf Drum. That doesn't seem that bad. Because then they block with Thought Monitor, so I'm not letting them pick that up with Hercules Recall. I don't think there's a line where I kill them right now. Although, I could tap just for a mana. Still go get probably Springleaf Drum. I have how much? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 artifacts in that scenario. I can Hercules Recall them. I can get in with the Germ. And then I can get in with Cranial Plating on Ornithopter next turn, maybe? But not if I don't draw a land. So yeah, I think I just want to play it safe and get a Construct here. And continue developing my board as normal. Let's go... Drum. Mirror Enforcer. Attack for 7. I assume they're going to chump block. They might not. Depending on what's in their hand. They do not chump block. Okay, opponent's down to 5. Maybe I should have just gone with Hercules for there. I don't know. Depends on what they have in their hand. If they have interaction right now. They have Urza, my god. Hopefully we're not just dead because of that. If they don't have a counterspell, we can Hercules them still, and we shouldn't be dead. If they have, like... Yeah, they're going to draw more cards. They could randomly have Thopter Sword combo here, I guess, but I doubt that they're playing that. At least most likely they're not. If they have double removal, they can kill us. So let's see. They have a million cards. This is such a fun mirror match. Opponent has as much mana as they could possibly need and a bunch of cards in hand, so we might just be dead. If they have a double dispatch or portable hole dispatch, we're dead. Opponent's tapping a blue and a white. They play Ingenious Smith. Okay. That gets them one less white mana, so they probably don't have removal for us now, at least. They get a Thought Monitor, so they're going to draw some more cards. If they just spend their whole turn drawing cards, I'm more than okay with that, as long as they don't get a Metallic Rebuke. They might have sided out Metallic Rebuke, is possible, for the same reason that I didn't side mine in. But I don't know. They play Esper Sentinel, okay. So they're not removing anything right now that we know of, unless they have blue removal. They play Thought Monitor, they draw some cards. Come on, don't have Metallic Rebuke. Please, please, please don't have Metallic Rebuke. There's no way we can play around the Metallic Rebuke because we just don't have the appropriate mana for that. We're just going to chump block one of these with a Mirror Enforcer and tank the damage from the other, because we need the construct to stay around so that we can get in lethal through Urza. Alright. Bless up. No counterspells, please. Let the Circle's Recall resolve. I was probably, well, now we have 2 Hurkyl's Recalls. I was probably being greedy by not just doing it on my turn, and if I knew that I had another Hurkyl's Recall on top of the deck, I definitely would have played it again, but come on, Hurkyl's Recall. I will pay for it. Because I would not like to give them an extra draw at getting Metallic Rebuke here. Come on, Hurkyl's Recall resolve, please. I feel like if our opponent had a counterspell, they wouldn't be pausing this long. Right? Surely. No. Don't do it. Yes! Alright, our opponent has 3 mana. I don't know what they can do with that. Like maybe they can tap down our guys or like save themselves for a turn with Odawara or something. They do have an Odawara. Okay. So they still have to block with their Urza, and then that dies, and then I just have another Hurkyl's Recall. And then that should do it. Damn, they have a lot of cards in there. Holy shit. Alright. Our opponent gets to untap and draw a card again. But I think this should be wrapped up in our favor now, right? I mean, they're going to leave up Ingenious Smith to block with, I'm sure. Maybe not, though. They might just play out a bunch of artifacts and hope that we don't have another Hurkyl's, because it's really unlikely that we have both of them in our hand right now, but we'll see. If they leave this back, we might need to Hurkyl's on top of equipping Ornithopter, so we would need more time or more mana than we actually currently have, depending. If they don't have any flying blockers, we just get to Nettle Cyst on Ornithopter, and then that's easy enough. If our opponent can hit us for 3 more than they have currently, they can also just get us. They can Portable Hole our Construct. Yep. But we can still get in with Nettle Cyst right now. So do they have a way to get around us getting in with Nettle Cyst? plays an Urza Saga. Plays Springleaf Drum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 artifacts currently, 5, 6. They can't quite play Thought Monitor yet. But they can soon if they have more 0 drops. Play Springleaf Drum. Okay, now they can play Thought Monitor. This has been a ridiculous game. Opponent plays Esper Sentinel. Okay. Opponent gets in for 3. Okay. That puts us to 3. They pass? They've got to have a dispatch then, right? Opponent discards a million cards. We draw an Urza Saga. I mean, we're gonna die to dispatch even if... Yeah, if they have a dispatch, even if we don't attack here, they can just dispatch our Ornithopter and then hit us for lethal. So we gotta go for it. They've got to have it because they would have been able to play a flyer and just survive. Maybe they misplayed? Yeah, they got it. Damn. All right. GG's to our opponent. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. And I will see you in the next video. Hopefully this was helpful. We got to see a lot of affinity mirrors, possibly more than is realistic, but still. Let's see. And I did mulligan a lot. I don't know how I feel about how much I mulliganed over the course of that. Let's open up that treasure chest I just got. Well, that was very mediocre. All right. Let me know if there are any more videos you'd like to see in the near future. If you want more affinity, that's great. I can definitely play affinity. If there are other decks you'd like to see me play, I'd be happy to. I'm probably going to play Enchantress pretty soon because I got a request for that and I've been having a lot of fun in leagues with it. And I will see you in the next video.
Hey everyone, Shoe Nice again. Well, basically, go subscribe to Tezzey's YouTube channel. And for those who made it to the end of the video, thank you.